Samp&Chance, are you ready?
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance Boxing. I'm your host, Bobby Sampson, the greatest boxing podcast on the West Coast. In the Western Hemisphere, I would say, Chance. What about you, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Yourself?
Can't complain, man. Can't complain. Everything is beautiful. It's Thursday. Some marquee matchups are finally starting to come out and starting to emerge. This is the beginning of the spring season. Happy spring, my friend. We are officially in spring now. So the weather, everything, and we're starting to get these matches that we want to see coming up. So why don't we start right off the bat, man? Let's get right into it with Moses Itauma taking on Jermaine Franklin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the story of the fight. This is a serious step-up moment, in my opinion, for Moses here. He's 21 years old, okay?
Yeah.
He's 21 years old. The man's got an amazing ring IQ for such a young age. Now, would you argue that he's still a prospect, or is he legitimately arrived?
I think he's arrived. He's put the fear of God in everybody. I think
he has put the fear of God, but he hasn't faced, like, he's moving up now. He's got Jermaine Franklin, right? He's fighting Jermaine Franklin, who's been in there with Anthony Joshua, who couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
Remember? So, we got this, the fast rising 21 Franklin, he's a durable, experienced, who's been in deep waters before, where Moses hasn't, right? What's the longest Moses gone? 4 rounds, maybe 5 tops, if I'm, just guessing. If I'm just guessing. So this is the interesting thing here, man. What do you say about this?
Well, I'll say first thing, I always look at the Vegas odds maker when it comes to boxing, because that kind of sets the tone for this. This guy's a 33-1 favorite. That means you have to put down $3,300 to win any money at all on this fight. They're saying Moses is going to destroy him. Now, I think personally, Franklin even said it, I'm not here to give rounds. I'm here to win the fight. So he's basically, I'm not going to be stepping something. Moses Itauma, I think, will put him down, but I think he's going to make him work it. I think it's going to take round 7, round 8. It's not going to be a quick in and out, bang him out, because Franklin's a battle-tested warrior. He is 32. He's 11 years older. But right now, Moses Itauma is one of the most exciting fighters to watch, because he's like a young Mike Tyson of the UK. He comes out and he's fast, he's strong. They're tight. This is youth versus experience, right? What's going to play out in this case? Most likely going to be the youth, but Franklin will make him go in. I wouldn't say deep waters, but mid to late rounds.
Well, I mean, here's what I got on Moses here. Okay, he's a southpaw with speed. We don't normally see that a lot of the times, especially at the heavyweight level, right? A southpaw with speed. Okay.
Yep.
Sharp, compact punching, doesn't waste shots. Okay. And this is based on the little that we've seen of him, because he finishes everyone off so fast.
Exactly.
Ring IQ, like I mentioned before, and finishing instinct. He wants to finish everybody he's in the ring with, which is what you want. You don't want to leave it in the hands of the judges, right?
Yep.
But then Franklin, but Franklin, on the other hand, though, I'm not saying this is not going to be a Moses win or anything. I still agree with you. I think Moses finishes him off, but not as quickly as everyone else, because Franklin, he's extremely durable, and he's been, he has never been stopped, dude.
I know.
He's lost, but he's never been stopped. Okay. Oh. Tested versus top level opponents. Anthony Joshua and Dillian White, if you want to put him up there, it's top level. I think he was at one time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
They couldn't stop him.
Good inside work, uses clinches and can be very physical in those clinches, right? So that's something that Moses probably hasn't really seen yet either here. So honestly, at the end of the day, like everything we just pointed out here, I think Moses needs to keep his range, work off his jab, because if he lets Franklin in, I think Moses will have to experience something that he hasn't experienced in boxing yet. That close inside clinching kind of punishment that he might receive from Franklin, who's not afraid.
This is brilliant matchmaking. You got the young lion versus the old wily veteran. It's not too high of a step up in competition, but it is a big step up in competition for Moses. So if Moses can put him down, it'll catapult him to start fighting the bigger boys, the Dubois, the Wardleys of the world. So this is it, and he's hungry for this fight. He knows that big money. He's seen the big money bags above his head, and he's going to come out there hard. And I think Franklin can hold him at bay for a while. Question is, how long can you hold him at bay?
Well, here's the deal, and yeah, I'm glad you said that because I mean Franklin has been tested. He's tested to go to the distance where
Hmm.
Atame hasn't, right? So if the fight starts to go there, how does Atame react? Because these are all new questions for us, right?
Hmm.
Because we don't have any data. Like you're the data guy, right?
Yeah, we
There's
don't
no
know. There's no
there's
data
no
here.
there's no empirical data on what this guy is capable of in the later rounds. What happens if he's dragged into a fight?
Hmm.
So all these factors can play a role in here. We haven't seen him really get hit yet either,
Not cracked it. No, we'll see. I think
right?
Frank will get a couple good shots on him.
Right. So I think at the end of the day, yeah, I don't see this ending in second or third round like we've seen most of his fights end. I think this is going to come down to, like you said, the seventh or eighth round. I think he gets the job done.
Hmm.
But this is a really interesting one only for the fact of the guy who's going in there who's just this warrior. Like
Yeah.
who did who Opataya when he fought that couple of weeks ago. His
Oh,
opponent.
the black guy. Yeah, what was his
Yeah,
name? I can't
his
remember his
opponent,
name right now.
right? Him.
Yeah, he was
What a
tough as
warrior.
nails.
Tough as
Yeah,
nails. I think this is what Moses is getting into here.
could be. Yeah, I think so. This is a big fight for Franklin. I mean, he
Well,
doesn't
it's a
want to be
big
a
fight
punching
for
bag.
Frank. Well, that's the thing. He doesn't want to be known as that guy. He doesn't want to be a gatekeeper yet, right?
Yeah.
Like, and as we get into the next two fights that we're going to talk about, one is definitely a gatekeeper. Two of them could potentially be gatekeepers in this fight.
Hmm.
All right. So are we both in agreement? Moses probably seventh, eighth round.
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
you're talking
So
about the guy that I fought, Brandon Glanton.
Glanton, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
tough
Brian
guy.
Glanton, I mean, I think he's going in against a Brian Glanton.
Hmm.
And it opens the door because we don't have all that information.
Yeah.
We know about his ring IQ because of the talent that he's been up against. Take nothing away from Dillian White, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but Dillian's on his final legs, man. I mean,
Oh yeah, big time.
there was nothing there. He literally threw Dillian White to Moses Itauma,
Hmm.
right? I mean, that's what that
This is
was.
perfect matchmaking by Tommy's people. Gave him the perfect fight. Not too crazy of a challenge, but just a little bit more up in competition. Durable veteran, respected name.
Look, Frank,
Perfect.
Frank, Frank Queensberry, all of those guys involved know what they're doing, right?
Oh yeah,
They wouldn't make this match if they didn't feel it to be the next logical step. They're not,
Yeah.
especially the way boxing is right now. You
Mhm.
need your top guys to be your top guys,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
And that's the
good.
beauty of combat sports. You can be a top guy and lose,
Mhm.
and shit can fly all over the place, right? So
Yeah. Good.
that's going to be an interesting match, man. It really is. I'm actually looking forward to it. All right, let us move on. PBC is finally back on the air. Is this their first show of the year? I think so.
Yeah, their first pay per view for sure.
Right? The first big show of the year, we got Sebastian Fundora going up
Towering Inferno.
against 11 inches.
I know.
Make up the difference between the two of these guys in terms of reach and height.
Hmm.
11 inches, man. Keith Thurman, inactive, hasn't been around, yet here he is, challenging for the title against Sebastian Fundora. Wow. What do you say here, man? Fundora is coming in at 23 1-1 against Thurman's 31-1. 15 KOs for Fundora. Thurman with 23 KOs. But here's the thing. Fundora's 28, Thurman's 37, and Thurman hasn't fought in years.
I know. With that height advantage, I mean, Keith Thurman's known for his power. He's known for his timing. But you're facing a guy who's got 11-inch. They got 11-inch height advantage on you, and he's 10 years younger than you. I mean, how's he to get inside? And plus, Fundora's southpaw too. It's going to be a really, really tough fight for Thurman. If anybody can do it, you could say it's Thurman. He's only ever lost once to Manny Pacquiao. Ain't no shame in that. But just that height advantage, I don't know how he's going to get around that. Fundora is just so big, so tall. Just brutalize you with that jab. All those jabs, they don't look that hard, but it adds up.
Well, they all add up.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
This is a big. If Thurman does, it'll be a big upset. This is for the WBC super welterweight belt at 104 pounds. So this is a big fight. It's at MGM. It's a big event.
Well, okay. I mean,
it's too much height. This is actually one of the biggest height disadvantages ever in boxing. I think.
I think so. Well, I mean, Ray Vargas and Nick Ball, That was pretty big too.
Not as big as this one though.
No, but that was pretty big. That dude's 5'4", right?
Yeah.
He's a little dude, 5'2".
Oh, he's 5'3", Nick Wall.
Yeah. So okay, but here's the thing. I mean, here's something that Thurman can possibly try to expose here. Like, I mean, Fundora being as big as he is, he leaves a lot of defensive holes open, right? Because of his frame. So if you're a guy like Thurman, the body is your best option. And those holes are there for him to attack the body if he can get in there. If he can get in there, right? If he can get past the jabs. There's a lot of ifs in what I'm saying here. And he can get hit clean, right? Which Thurman can do. But the problem with Thurman, he's been so inactive. How long will it take for him to get going? And does he still have that one punch power that he's known for?
You never lose that old man strength, but he'll have that power, but he'll lose that timing. I mean, he's giving up to a foot in height and 11-inch reach advantage and 10 years in age. This is the hardest fight he's ever had. Manny Pacquiao is a better fighter than Fundora, but Pacquiao is a lot smaller, right? This is like all the odds are against Thurman. Your age, your height, and your
well, let's see.
If he pulls this off, be one of the biggest upsets in boxing history. No, sorry, not in history, in recent memory.
No, 100%. Like, I mean, the biggest strength Thurman comes in with is his experience and his power, but we don't know how much power is left in that tank. Okay, to be completely honest, his biggest weaknesses, in my opinion, is durability. His durability questions and his ring rust. How much is that going to play into all of this?
It'll play into it, right? For sure.
I think, like you said, if Fundora just uses the jab and stays, a long distance, not too far away, and attacks when he can, I think he just breaks them down. I think personally, this could go decision, but I think Thurman gets the job done. I think Fundora gets the job done in the later rounds, breaking them down. If not,
that's
earlier.
What I was thinking too. Around 10, 11, I think it'd be too much jabbing. And for a big guy, Fundora likes to come inside too and clinch and stuff. So he keeps you on the outside and he'll come in and grab you. It's a tough fighter. He's skin and bones. He's way too tall for that weight class. He should be fighting heavyweight. I don't know how a guy that tall is that skinny, but he is, and man, he's a good fighter.
Yeah, no, 100%. And if you look at, well, I mean, maybe not the Jermaine Franklin Moses Itauma fight, but this next fight that we're going to go on to here, okay, this is on the undercard as well.
Co-main event. Co-main event.
The co-main event. So the co-main event on the PBC card. So before Thurman and Fundora, ladies and gentlemen, we bring to you Yoenis Tellez versus Brian Mendoza. Honestly, this is again another matchup of a young Tellez, young, rising, highly skilled Cuban prospect going up against Brian Mendoza, who's battle tested, dangerous, and always one punch away. We're really getting a lot of these up and coming guys against the old guard sort of a deal in this weekend, aren't we? I'm not saying Jermaine Franklin's an old guard, but I mean, he's getting there. To be fair. And you got the young guy versus the old guy in Thurman versus Fundora, and we got this matchup here. This is probably the one that I'm excited about a lot more than a lot of the other fights, only for the fact of this is a tough one to call because you can't discount Brian Mendoza.
Well, let's break this down here really quickly here. So both guys have 73% wins by KO, TKO. And people don't forget Mendoza knocked out Fundora, the only guy to do that. So Mendoza's got that pop. This is age. I broke it down like this. We got age and speed versus power and experience. Tellez is 25, has youth, has better hand and foot speed on his side, plus sharper boxing fundamentals. Mendoza's 32. He has an edge in pro rounds box, 117 versus Tellez's 75, and has shared the ring with better opposition. Tellez has acknowledged that about Mendoza's danger, particularly at the high-level fights in the KO of Fundora. So this one is really hard to call. I don't know, man. I'm still haven't made my decision on who's going to win this one.
I haven't called this.
It's going to be a close fight.
Well, I'm looking at the keys of victory for both these guys here. Okay, very simply for Tellez, in my opinion, I think what he needs to do is stay disciplined for all 12 rounds. He's got to stay disciplined for all 12 rounds because Mendoza can flip a fight on a dime with one shot. He can change the narrative completely. He's still capable of doing all those things, right? Tellez needs to control the distance, in my opinion. Avoid getting lazy late because you can't leave anything open for Mendoza. Like I said, he's got to be ready for all 12 rounds. Where Mendoza has to apply steady pressure constantly, not reckless pressure, but steady pressure,
Yeah.
right? Invest in the body early. He's got to break down that body to slow him down. And the longer he stays dangerous, the more pressure shifts to Tellez, in my opinion, because of that one punch power that Mendoza has and the fact that he can drop you and take that shot at any time, right?
Yeah,
So,
well, Vegas has it as Tellez is his favorite at minus 260. So $260 will pay you 100 back. They got Mendoza as a slight underdog, plus 150, plus 200 at some books. So they're favoring Tellez to win by late stoppage, maybe decision. So Mendoza's the underdog, man. He's dangerous.
well, I mean,
man.
they're calling him the underdog, but I think it's based on his age and everything else as well,
Yeah.
considering who he's going up against here. We look at all three of these matches. This is probably the hardest one to call, hands down, right? This is probably the most evenly matched up two that we have on the show today.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm totally looking forward to this fight. I really am. And if what Pro Box gave us with Najee and whatnot like that, I hope a lot of guys are watching and wanting to emulate that and get up to that level. Over the weekend, I got to tell you, man, the fights on Pro Box were great again.
They put on, seems like a bunch of unknown guys fighting hard,
No, Lester Martinez, that was a great fight.
Yeah.
He was really pushed. And this, again, Lester Martinez, here's a prime example of what could potentially happen here. Like everyone's saying, tell us. But he's going up against a guy here that can probably push him like Lester was over the weekend. You know what I mean? The main event over at the Zone on Saturday night, it was an okay main event. I'm not saying it because I lost my prediction, but Carlos Adams and Kid Austin, it was good. That dude fought on his shield, but he was outmatched.
Yeah, that whole card wasn't that great, honestly. There's a couple good fights, but it wasn't a standout card. The Pro Box card last week smashed it. To me, Pro Box is like JCW.
That's 2 weeks in a row they put on some killer cards here, man.
To make a wrestling comparison, Pro Box like JCW. Why I say that? It's free. It's on YouTube, same as JCW. You're gonna find hardworking men and women on there, and they just don't have the budget or the stars of.
I'm gonna be honest, man, because the main events were running. I'm gonna be honest. Sorry, I'm gonna be honest because I think the main events were running back to back at the same time, so I was flipping back and forth. I gotta tell you, man. I mean, you can say what you want about Paulie Malignaggi and those guys and whatnot, but I enjoyed the commentating more on Pro Box than I did on Zone that night, and I love those guys on the Zone. Okay, I don't have any issue with them, but those Pro Box guys brought something different to the table, man. I was really enjoying it. Like I think I was watching the Lester Martinez fight more because of the commentating. I was more,
Malignaggi he's not a bad commentator. He's not my favorite. He's not bad. He knows his stuff. I mean, some commentators grab you, and some don't. Like he's not bad. He's all right.
I think
he makes a lot of things that aren't true. Like I don't like him as a fighter. The way he whines planes and like, dude, you couldn't even carry Manny Pacquiao's bags, dude. You need to make up that.
Hey, dude, that all is.
But yeah, he's not a bad commentator. He's all right.
But for me, it's just like I think I got caught up in the nostalgia of Mike Goldberg.
Got a good voice, man.
He's got a great voice. And just from the early UFC days and whatnot. I mean, if you think about it, in my younger days, he was the voice of the UFC for me.
Yeah, him and Rogan were good together, man.
Right?
John and XL right too, but I
have no problem with who they have there now. But if you want to talk about back in the day when I was, when we were young bucks, right, and watching it at that time when everything was Affliction and Hardy and those kind of shirts, you know what I mean?
Yep.
That era of tap out era, Affliction era of UFC was probably my 20s.
It was funny that you say that because those shirts I was thinking about the other day, and when I was at my kids' hockey, so we have a place called Apollo. It's called Summit Center now. There's 2 ice rinks, and above it we have a bar. It used to be called Blue Ridge Bar and Grill. Now it's called something else. And I was walking by. It used to be a sign there. Now it says no playing hockey in the lobby. Well, before it used to say, because of the nighttime we turn a nightclub, no Ed Hardy shirts, no Affliction shirts, no Tap-Out shirts, a lot of because that's what some of the gangster guys would wear. So they weren't allowed in if you wore that shirt because there's a lot of fights. Not everybody that wore those shirts did that, but it's funny that you say that.
Yeah. Well, I just remember because that was, if you talk about UFC in the early 2000s to maybe 2000 to about 2013, that 13-year period there was the Affliction era. I think that, and I hate to bring this up again, man, but I think that was the last era where all those fighters were real fighters. I'm not saying that the fighters today aren't real fighters, but they had that energy. You know what I mean?
It's better characters. And the UFC, you got to remember, it's been around a long time now, so we see it so much. It wasn't when it first came out. Like I know it was around 90, but like when it first started really getting popular. Oh my God! Here's Brock Lesnar. Here's Dan Henderson, Chuck Liddell, Anderson Silva, GSP. They're larger than life characters. Now,
so you
name fighters, you don't see that kind of character anymore.
You name any of those guys that you just named, and you answered my question completely. Tell me if any of those guys would ever twerk after winning.
No. Speaking of that, I got a Chael Sonnen autograph glove right there. There's so many good characters and stuff.
And I met Wanderlei as well, man. What an amazing guy.
Major steroid guy, but yeah. He's crazy,
he's
man.
So nice. So nice. Yeah. Oh, wow. Who's that?
You know what I mean? Chael Sonnen.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. So he's actually a big wrestling fan too, actually.
Where do you get those boxes?
This one here, I bought it with the glove, but honestly, dude, so these are custom. Like Greg Maddox autograph ball, I got them custom made.
Yeah.
But for that see that I got an Isaiah Thomas basketball after that my buddy won the Lakers game for me. Just go to Michael's.
Nice. Okay, yeah, because
look
at what I got.
Go to Michael's.
I got this.
Michael's.
I want to put this in
Michael's has it all. My Ichiro baseball bat that I have.
Yeah.
I went to Michael's. They have baseball display case frames. They got jersey frames. Go to Michael's, get a case for that glove.
Also got this one.
Yeah, go to Michael's and get a nice case. They're only like $30-$40.
These ones are really special because he just took them off after training and gave them to me.
Yeah, it's cool.
Right?
Yeah, so go to Michael's and they got all that stuff. Even you got like some of my autographed hockey pucks that I have, like my Marta Amber and all that stuff. Got the nice cases there.
Well, behind me, I got our Samp&Chance shirt. I got the Iron Sheik. All my wrestling mats that I've collected. The only one that I'm missing is a Cubs one.
Yeah, they can custom engrave them for you. They can keep them playing whatever you want, dude.
Awesome, man. Awesome. All right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's time once again for what's happening in international and Canadian boxing history. Mr. Chance Michaels, enlighten our minds.
All right, here we go. March 23rd, yesterday, 1996, Arturo Gatti versus William Rodriguez was a thrilling blood and guts war that took place at MGM Theater. It was aired live on HBO after dark. Gatti, the defending IBF featherweight champion and junior lightweight champion, fighting at 130, stopped the challenger Wilson Rodriguez at 128 pounds by KO at 2:16 of the 6th round in a 12-round bout. One of Gotti's most exciting legendary fights. It's on YouTube. Go check it out. All right, now we're going to get some Canadian boxing history here. This is probably actually one of our biggest ones that we've ever had. And it's the one and only George Chuvalo versus Muhammad Ali. Let me break it down right here for you, give you the exact details so I don't misquote it. The biggest fight in Canadian boxing history took place at Toronto's Maple Leaf Garden. Heavyweight champion Ali, then undefeated at his peak, faced Canadian champion George Chuvalo in a 15-round world title. At the time, Chuvalo was the only person to take Ali 15 rounds, although he lost a decision. Big fight. Canada's best heavyweight. I mean, you can call it Lennox Lewis, but for a guy who's actually born in Canada, it was Chuvalo.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Ali and Canada, there's a lot of stories there that people don't know about. He fought here in Vancouver too, I believe, at Empire. Right? So, people, I think we should talk about that a little bit more at some other shows here. The impact of Muhammad Ali in boxing in Canada.
He trained at a couple gyms out here too. Just when he come in for the fights, whatever, he's training at the East Hastings Boxing Club. There's a couple stories like that.
There you go. All right, that has been this week's edition of boxing history, both international and Canadian. That all being said, brother man, I think we've basically covered everything that's going on. I don't want to get into the politics today because they'll never change.
We got to talk about the female boxer that came out of the coma.
Oh yes,
Good for her.
absolutely. Seal,
Yep.
mad respect to you. 19 years old. If you haven't seen the clip, go check it out. It's absolutely. From one side, you can argue that wow, what a combination, but
Hmm.
the outcome of that combination, and this is the part of the show and the part of the industry that sucks for us. That sucks for anyone involved in boxing or in combat sports. None of us want to see that happen to anybody.
And this is why I'm gonna use my words carefully. And this is why, like, it's too bad she's a young 19-year-old girl. But this is why that my daughter's in jiu-jitsu. Like me and my son, we do Muay Thai and boxing, but I don't want my daughter taking those kind of shots to her head. You can call it protective dad, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but jiu-jitsu is fine. It's just you're not going to get hurt in jiu-jitsu. You get pulled, you tap out. You're not going to get your head cracked. Well, she got her head cracked, her hands are down. I hope she'll make a full recovery by all signs. It. I hope she never fights again. It's not worth it. There's not that much money in female boxing, really. There can be if you make your way to the top. I think she just get a regular job and don't risk your brain or your health. No money's worth it for that.
Well, I mean, I think at this point,
That was brutal.
the one benefit she has is youth.
Yeah, she's young.
Okay, she's young. She can recover. Is boxing an option anymore for her? I would hope
I got
not.
a feeling that if the doctors say your brain is healed, like if she has brain damage, no, but they say you're 100% fine, I think she'll fight again. I hope
Maybe she
not.
will, right?
But not that's her right. I'm just saying.
No, but that's just that passion
Okay.
of the warrior. You know what I mean, male or female, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but at the end of the day, I hope she takes. She's young enough that she can take 2 years off, right? Let herself completely heal.
Let's not forget what damage is this done to her brain when she becomes our age. Is she going to be Parkinson's? Is she going to be a vegetable? Like you got to think of your long term health.
That's the thing. That's the problem, right?
But one more thing before we wrap this up. Did you hear Tyson Fury's dad? What he's saying?
No, what's he saying now?
Okay, so him and his dad aren't working together this time,
Right?
and he's saying that, of course, Tyson's older. Right? He's like Tyson's not as strong as he used to be.
Yeah. Oh, I
He's
heard
lost a
this.
step.
Yes, I've heard
If Tyson was in his prime, he would have finished Usyk.
Yeah, he says he can't finish him.
Yeah, he's saying, probably the same thing. And he said Tyson won't win a decision unless he knocks it out. And then he's saying that after the Wilder fight, he was never the same. He's like, look, Wilder's legs are gone. Wilder can barely stand sometimes. He's like, Tyson just took something out of him. Like, look at all the shots my son took. So he's being respectful about it, but he's just saying.
No, he's just trying to get clout, man. I mean, this guy's trying to pick fights with the Cobra, Carl Froch. He's all over the place, right?
Oh, that's another thing he said about Carl Froch. Thanks for saying that. He goes, great fighter, British champion. He goes, but the guy can't shut up. He's just too much. This is John Fury saying that about Carl Froch. He gave him the dues for boxing, but said he's too much of a big mouth, basically.
Nah, well, I mean,
Carl Froch is a big deal over in the UK, and here in North America, a great fighter. He's not a big deal over here. That's just the reality of it.
Well, no, he's got his following. It's kind of like saying, okay, we some guys do better in their regions, right? I mean,
there's only about 4 or 5 boxers that are worldwide. Canelo,
yeah, exactly.
Mayweather,
household
Pacquiao,
names. Those are household names, right? Yeah. So I get it. And that's the way it is. Yeah. All right, Chance, let's wrap this puppy up, man. Yep. Let's get going and let's get to the next place that we need to get to here. Mm-hmm. It's Thursday, so we got boxing this Saturday afternoon that goes right into this pay-per-view card for PBC, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of good boxing happening this weekend, so there's no shortage of fights for anyone to watch. All that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Bobby Sampson. He is Mr. Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great AC/DC, those that download, like, subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back next Thursday, next Tuesday to break down everything that's happening in the world of professional wrestling and boxing. And very soon, episode 3 of Samp&Chance Outside the Ring will be coming to you. Another surprise. Not going to say nothing about it, but looking forward to this one. The deeper I'm going into this guy, the more I'm curious now.
You talking about the young South Asian guy or the old South Asian guy?
Pardon?
You talking about the young South Asian guy or the old South Asian guy?
Both. Whoever comes first. I'm excited for both of them.
Well, the younger one's coming first.
Yeah, well, regardless of who's coming, I'm excited for both of them, right?
Well, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure to check that out. Our new endeavor. It's selling, man. People are into it. I like it.
Yeah, it's fun, man. We're not having an easier time in the pop culture world getting guests. It seems like, yeah. And we're boxing and wrestling guys. They want to do it. And sometimes the boxing and wrestling guys that we specialize in don't want to do it. So it's just like, okay,
well, hey man,
the way we want to
you
go.
know what? You can look at us as the reverse Joe Rogan, where he does the odd MMA combat show, but most of his shows are all pop culture.
Yeah.
We're the opposite. We're pretty much predominantly boxing and wrestling and some MMA, combat sports.
Yeah.
But we're sprinkling it now with some of this great content. We've had 2 great interviews, 2 great people already. When I tell people about it, like, oh wow, you talked to him? Like, yeah.
We've had rockers, killers, rappers,
dirty politicians.
We've got politicians.
We've had them all, man.
We've had religious guys on here.
Yeah.
We've had a little bit of everything, really.
No, we're blowing it up. So, guys, Samp&Chance, we're just going to get better, bigger, and stronger. So the rest of you out there, either up your game or just turn off your podcast and let us take control. Look at it this way. We're in the fast lane. Anybody that's in front of us, move over and let us go.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, we're doing good.
All that being said, I'm Bobby Sampson. He's Mr. Chance Michaels. We will see you next Thursday on Samp&Chance Boxing. Everyone, be blessed and talk to you soon.